Hello everyone, the title of today's passage is Judas agrees to betray Jesus. Do you know why Jesus came to the world? He came to the world as the Messiah to redeem our sin and death. Jesus came to the world as the Lamb of God who must be slaughtered as the sacrifice instead of our sin problem. So the journey of his messianic work was around 3.5 years. Now Jesus was in the last stage of his messianic work. At the time, Judas agreed to betray Jesus. Judas was one of Jesus' 12 disciples. At the last moment, he was deceived by the Satan's scheme. His heart was fooled by the Satan and tempted by the money, and he unfortunately, he agreed to betray Jesus. He shouldn't have done. He should have advocated Jesus as his master. He could have lived the most blessed life on earth, but he fall down to the most miserable figure in human history because he betrayed the Messiah. So now we can see how the story was going on through this passage. Luke's Gospel, chapter 22, verses 1 to 6. Now the festival of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching. The Passover was the commemorational day for Israel people to remember the day when they were freed from the bondage of slavery life in Egypt. Verse 2, and the chief priests and teachers of the law were looking for some way to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. The chief priests and the teachers of the law were the figures considered as the leaders of the Jewish society. However, they were afraid of losing power, because they worried that Jesus would take the hearts of people, the Jewish people. Verse 3, then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot, one of the 12. And Judas went to the chief priests and the officers of the temple guard and discussed with them how he might betray Jesus. They were delighted and agreed to give him money. Judas Iscariot decided to betray Jesus and received some money. The man's problem was greed to see the money, his goal, his desire was on the power of money rather than having Jesus. He consented and watched for an opportunity to hand Jesus over to them when no crowd was present. So he consented. What a miserable fact it would be. He shouldn't have consented as the disciple of Jesus. So we today could see Judas, who was one of the 12 disciples, betrayed Jesus. So Jesus was on the way to accomplish messianic work, but on the way Judas was there, miserable figure. So we can have many lessons from today's passage. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.